Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and this week's flow session is called hands free because we are going to drop the hoop off on contact points on our body and we can actually have our hands free of the hoop for a moment. So we're going to drop the hoop off on our shoulder and on our crotch or hip. You're gonna love it. So we wrap the hoop on our body, scoop it around the front, drop it off on the shoulder, do a two-handed isolation, a linear isolation, and then a crotch flick. Let's break it down. I'm in my right hand and I flip the hoop towards my back and then bring it onto my body, scoop it up and over to my opposite side shoulder, and then I take my hand on the inside grip and go into a two-hand isolation, then this diagonal linear isolation, and then my opposite side knee is going to come up and I'm going to push the hoop towards my hip, and you can do that with a turn. So take a look at it. My palm is up and I flip my hoop around to my back, and it's like I have a magnet on my wrist that comes to my lower back, and the hoop comes up and over while my arm is tucked in. But then I bring my arm around to the front and my hoop can just drop off on my shoulder, hands free. Then my second hand, and that's my left hand, is going to go on the inside and drive down, leading with my thumb. Your isolation will probably be neater than mine. I go for a two-hand isolation, and when I feel ready, I am going to turn, so my hoop is on my right side, and go for a diagonal linear isolation. Push down, and as I take my arm straight up to the sky, I release and then hold on with my thumb facing up towards the sky. Now I turn and take my wrist towards my left hip, knee up, take your heel towards your butt so the hoop doesn't get hooked. And you can do this standing still, or I like to turn in towards my hoop and do a 360 turn. It is pretty fun and hands free. Give it a try. So flip on from the back, pop it on the opposite side shoulder, two-hand isolation, diagonal linear isolation, and that crotch flick. Pretty fun. If you haven't grabbed your hoop, I suggest you do that now. Fold on, hands free on the opposite shoulder, two-hand isolation, diagonal linear isolation, and crotch flick. So again, a little slower, folding on, bring the arm around to the front and drop the hoop off on the opposite shoulder. Left hand or right hand, if you're mirroring, goes in for a two-hand isolation, push down towards the earth, release, and really take the arm long towards the sky. Then draw the wrist towards the opposite side hip, turn into your hoop if you want to go 360. Okay, it's time to bring your own style into it. Little hands free, some isolations, and then that really cool turning crotch flick. And you can actually get some momentum and some pace depending on the flooring that you're on. If you're on concrete with rubber shoes, or if you have socks on a really beautiful wooden floor, you can get some different momentum with that crotch flick turn. So now it is time to add your own style. I hope that you have loved this hands-free flow session. Rock it, Hooper.